Hello and welcome to the Nintendo Music Wars, Episode 2. I'm your host, Judah Terry, and I'm joined by Nintendo music producer, Eli Turp, as we go head-to-head with some of the best video game music on the planet. In this show, briefly, before we get on, if you're new to this, me and my good friend and Nintendo music producer, Elijah Turp, we have created this series, Nintendo Music Wars, where we both choose a game soundtrack each. For each episode, so we choose the Nintendo game and the soundtrack, so all the music included in that game, and we were basically arguing which one is better, which one has better music, and we basically choose three music tracks each that are our favourites to try and persuade you, the audience, why it's better, and then at the end we put out polls and votes. We want you to vote in, guys, as to what track you think should win, and at the end of on the next episode 3, we'll do it. We'll see who won, and we've already done it, and I'm looking forward to seeing the results. But anyway, Elijah, this is the second time recording episode 2 because oh dear, guys, it's happened. It's happened the second time in my entire time of doing podcasting, and it's basically we recorded this entire episode 2 already, and the audio just was like, no, not having it, and just completely just didn't process it. So I went on it the next day to edit it, and it was like, sorry, we lost your audio and it just didn't work. So sorry, sorry, it's gone, and I was like, no. This can't be true, and it's just gone. The audio was gone, and yeah, it's just terrible. So it's actually recording on the day of this release, like Sunday. So I've got a tight schedule to get this episode out.
It's a shame because we recorded for like an hour and 45 minutes, and we finished at like 10. We were doing it for so long, and it's just all
gone. The jokes, the fun, the anger. Everything.
Have to try and replicate what we did before.
You have to try and do it again.
Do it, yeah.
It is honestly, guys. This is the time. These are the times as a podcaster where sometimes I feel like I just don't want to do this anymore. It's just so horrible. It's just so mean. And but you got to prevail. You've got to do it. You got to do what you got to do, and try again. And Anchor, if you're the producer for our podcast, please don't do that again. Please don't do that again, Anchor. Naughty. But anyway, Elijah. Let's make it more fun. Let's do it. Let's just do it. But anyway, Elijah. Last week, you chose Super Smash Bros. Brawl soundtrack, the music soundtrack, and I chose Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. And guys, holy cow, we had 684 votes. So all of you voted in, and 684 votes in total. Elijah, aren't you shocked? That's a lot
of people. That's more than I was expecting. Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, it's more than I was expecting as well. But yeah, honestly, guys, you make this series possible, and the fact that so many people have voted in is mind blowing, and I'm really happy. So first of all, thank you to everyone who has voted in. It's really, really great of you guys. It's just amazing, and it's really fun because I thought it would be like what, I don't know. I'm guessing we've got a couple thousand, so I guess we will have maybe 100 people take part because not everyone takes part. But it's like 684. This includes your audience as well, Elijah. Twitter polls, Instagram, everything, email, and I'm sorry for. There was loads of nice messages also sent in with your votes on the email. That many people sent in on the email. Sent in nice messages as well, and I'm sorry we can't read out every single because there's so many. But anyway, Elijah, it's time to find out who won.
It's exciting.
It is exciting. It is right. Who do you know? He definitely does not know who the winner is. Mm-hmm. He does. But anyway, let's give it up. Right. So first of all, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. It got. Drum roll, please. 56%, 383 votes. Way.
Hey, well done.
Way. So yeah, pretty much me, isn't it? But here's the thing: it was extremely close because Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Drum roll, please. got 44%, 301 votes.
Very close.
Super close. 56 and 44. 56% and 44%.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, that is so close. I only won by 82 more votes, I think. My maths was pretty quick there. But yeah, 383 and 301 votes. Elijah, I'm just shocked at how close that really was.
It was a close call.
Yeah.
I think I was partly expecting it, partly not. I knew it would be close because I feel like there really is an equal amount of love out there for both the games.
Yeah.
So I knew it just depends on who's listening. Depends on who, which one would win. But yeah, I'm happy either way. I like the soundtrack just as much as you. I'm happy for you. Well done. You got your first point. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Time for me to get the next one though.
This is an honor. Speech time. This is an honor. No, it's not actually good. I shouldn't speak too soon. I've only got 1 point. I'm on about. But yeah,
only the first episode.
It's only the first episode. Yeah. So the point scores on the doors. Judah 1 point. Elijah 0 points. But don't worry, Elijah. I'm sure you'll get a point soon. Because this episode is looking very promising. But yes, it is. So. But honestly, yeah, thank you very much. I think it's very much also the teasers. I think a lot of people decided on the teasers, and I'm just happy. I'm happy about this because Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, I believe, music is underappreciated. Like there's so much good tracks in the game. There's so many, and I was so glad I could bring that into the light, bring Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate to people's ears, and people were like, yes, it was good. And funny enough, my little sister, bless her, supports the show. She voted for your Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and and I was like, and it was a mistake. So she said to me, "Oh, I accidentally voted for a Super Smash Bros." So she sent an email into the podcast saying, "Can you please deduct one off Super Smash Bros."
Damn,
and put it onto Monster Hunter. So, Elijah, you could have got 302 and I could have got 382. Oh
well.
Oh well. I bet you can talk to Seren about that later. Yeah. Anyway, I bet you guys are all keen to dive right in to what we have chosen this week because this series has been off to a good start. So, Elijah, take it away. What have you chosen? What are your 3 tracks? Why and what is the game?
Okay, first things first, I'm going to close my window because airplanes keep flying past and I can hear it very loudly.
What, do you live near Heathrow Airport or something? I was like, what's going on? I heard like 3 aeroplanes fly. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I don't live anywhere near an airport. I think just random people are flying because they're small planes as well.
Neighbours.
Very weird.
Taking off in their Cessnas.
Yeah,
test flight.
So it should be a bit quieter now.
There we go. Should be better now. So Elijah, what was the game and what the 3 tracks?
So the game I've chosen is Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
Good choice.
As many of you may know, I've spoken about this game a lot in the past on normal podcast episodes and during the Nintendo Music of the Week, those segments that we had. And it's one of my favorite games of all time. And especially for the soundtrack. I think obviously the game is brilliant with the gameplay and the visuals and the characters and all of that and the story. But the music is what brings it to life, in my opinion. And the music is what makes it even more memorable. So I have decided to show off the music, chosen this for my soundtrack this week. Hopefully it will defeat whatever you've chosen.
Well, I was going to say, like, this Xenoblade Chronicles, me and Elijah are both massive fans of this game. And the series, these Chronicles. But yeah, the Xenoblade Chronicles, he snagged it before me. The very fact that I was going to choose it as well at some point shows that this has got great music. Because honestly, Xenoblade has got to be has some of the best music I've ever heard in gaming in games, and it's just so good. It's such a great series, and I'm sure
it really is one of a kind. Yeah.
It's one of a kind, it is. And I think you sent me last night on Discord a tribute like YouTube video, and it made me like almost cry, and I really cried. Yeah. It was really emotional because they joined it all up from the definitive edition or the first one to 2 and all of them, and it was really well done. It was really well done. But yeah, it's great music, epic music. So good choice. I'll give you that. Good match.
So the first track of the three favourites that I'm going to be showing off is the main theme, the title theme.
Yeah. The title theme is extremely emotional.
Yeah, I think it's a stunning piece of music, and rightfully so, as the title theme to a stunning game, a stunning journey. It starts off, with beautiful, very gentle piano. There's a lot of space between it all, and slowly, strings build up, give it some more. Like it's very gentle and comforting, And as it goes along, you hear the melody, then an ocarina will come in and play the melody as well. And at some point, it then transforms from this kind of gentle, relaxing piece and, very emotional piece to this giant orchestral powerhouse of a track,
Just
The
emotion.
strings come in really, really
Yeah.
heavy, very loud. Backing vocals, oboes, timpani, so big drums, horns, harps, all sorts. It all comes together so nicely, and even without the context of the game, you can tell this is the opening of something amazing. So
It
I think
is.
I'm
It's yeah.
yeah
It's well known. It's well known.
yeah of course yeah. It's
Yeah.
well known. It's one of my favorites and one of a lot of other people's favorites because well, just for good reason of it being an amazing piece and the opening to an amazing game.
But didn't you tell me that this was actually your 3DS background?
I did, yeah, on my 2DS because I've got enemy, whatever it's called.
You've got a hack DS, so you can
Yeah.
put
I've
any
got
theme you want on it. Yeah.
the theme manager thing. So yeah, so I've got the title theme, like the visuals of the title theme, and then the actual audio of it as well, the main theme, and it's very very nice. And I was joking to you before saying sometimes I might jump on my 2DS, be like, oh, I want to play like Smash Bros or something.
You're in the mood.
Intense. Yeah, I'm in the mood for something like intense. And I open up the DS, and then it plays this really, really gentle,
Emotional,
beautiful, emotional piece of music, and I'm just like, do I really want to beat people up now? I don't know. It's like
all of a sudden I want to rethink my life and sit on the bed
which
and look out the
makes me
window.
want to just go and listen
Watch
to
the
music.
millions of airplanes flying outside my window.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is quite funny, to be fair, to have a. It's just such an emotional piece. Like it's so beautiful in a way that I wouldn't put it on my I mean, this is perfect. You should do it if you want. But like, yeah, I'm always in the mood for those fighting games. So when I go on my DS to play a fighting game, and that'll be there, I'll be like, all of a sudden, I don't feel like this because I think with my current 3DS, it is relaxing, but it's like lo-fi. It's like lo-fi Japan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's got this like cyberpunk neon lit street, and then it's got like a lo-fi Japanese song. It was like boom, ding, ding, and I was like, yes, it's chill. But yeah, it's great that you've chosen that as your main theme though, because it's just such a powerful piece to the point where your emotions have to be moved if you like it or not. So, are you ready to give it a listen?
Indeed, I am.
And that was the main theme for Xenoblade Chronicles. It was emotional. Can't lie, and I hope you guys didn't cry. But on to your second track. What is it and why?
So my second track is called Thoughts Enshrined. It's
Thoughts Enshrined.
Yeah, it's another very emotional track. Very well written. It's not overly complex, but it has its complexities in the right places. People who have played the game, they'll know what it is. They might be surprised that I've put it in my top 3, since although it's a great track, it's not very popular. It's not very well known. It's in all sorts of important cutscenes, but it's very underappreciated, I feel like, and not a lot of fans will even know the name of this track, which is crazy.
I do get that though, because this is can be underappreciated in a way. From after listening to this, I was a bit surprised. I was like, well, it's not something I would go out of my way to listen to, but it is something that I definitely needs more appreciation, because it's really well worked hard on this song. Like it's very complex. Like you've already mentioned the word complex. It's
Yeah.
it's just it's really complex. I can't what else is there to say. It's just that you can't quite get what emotions you're getting. To be fair, it's just
It's a
very
definite
strange. Yeah.
it's a mix. It's obviously very kind of somber in a way, and it plays on a lot of sad cutscenes. But then it
Yeah.
turns to something very very hopeful towards the end, and
Hmm.
it turns from this kind of sad piano piece to again a very emotional but powerful and hopeful, which is the most important thing,
Hmm.
string and piano piece and the whole orchestral thing at the end. And it
Hmm.
plays I think I said during some of the most important cutscenes in the game. So it has a lot of meaning behind it.
Yeah, that's the thing I like. I like that. That's the thing about this song. I like how it basically just took, basically just took the song. It felt kind of sad at the beginning, and then just kind of made it almost hopeful at the end. That's just it's just I really like how they did that. You know,
I like the
I like that.
combination that Xenoblade does often with piano and strings and then like a single vocalist. So for this one, it is just one
It's one
vocalist,
person.
and then they layer it later on. But for the, like imagine it feels very intimate in a way, like
It does. It
intimate in the
does.
sense that it's like you're closely connected to the music,
Mm.
because there's one. It sounds like you could be in the room with these people. You could be in the room with the
Mm.
characters during these times, and
Mm.
with the musicians, with the pianist and the vocalist, or with a
Yeah.
few strings in the back. You could feel that you could be with them. And I think it's really
Yeah.
important to kind of it pulls you into the world of the game. But even without the game, when you're just
Mm.
listening to it, it's very nice, and it takes you somewhere, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
Uh,
Words really can't describe like how what I
mm.
feel about it, but I really really love this kind of music,
Just
and it
drawn to
fills me
it.
with so
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
emotions. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, the very storyline in Xenoblade is just so emotional. With the voices as well. With the voices, it'll make it 10 times more emotional with the visuals and the voices. So the very fact that this music may move you alone, but then think about it with the actual story, and that when you actually know the meaning behind that song and the visuals it's going to in the storyline in Xenoblade, and then the characters and what they're saying and the situation, it really really makes it a whole lot more emotional. Like when one of them has died, or it's just
Hmm.
it's just really emotional, and that's what makes this game 10 times more better. It's not just some game where it's like, I'm gonna go destroy this. It's not like that. It's just like there's actually a lot of meaning behind what is happening. It's
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
basic little fight game. It's actually it's a storyline game, and I love storyline games with passion.
Yeah, it's an RPG. It's a JRPG.
Yes.
Big, long, super powerful, amazing. I don't know, just giving random adjectives. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's that kind of game.
Yeah.
Uh,
Exactly.
about the track, I also enjoy the mixing on it, the production of
Mm.
it.
And the British accents. Sorry.
There's a reverb on the piano, and the
Mm.
space between this kind of certain moments where it's written, it
Mm.
gives a vibe that I think a lot of people can vibe with. It's
Yeah.
it's another beautiful track that perfectly encapsulates Xenoblade One. I
Let's
really
give it.
really
Yeah.
recommend listening to this track in full if you have the time, because it is
Yeah,
wonderful.
that's the thing. We play the teasers, but please, I'm linking all the full songs in the description below, so go and check them out for the full experience.
Hmm.
But anyway, are you ready to give the listeners a play of this
Let's give it
teaser?
a play. Yeah.
Let's give it a play. And that was Thoughts Enshrined. Now on to your third and final track. What's it called? What is it?
Zanza the Divine.
Yes.
Your favourite one, yeah.
My favourite, yes. Love it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I wrote to try and describe without listening, I'm trying to describe it and put an image in the listener's head. Imagine if an angel came down to you, sang ominously but gently, and then a metal band with a killer Japanese piano player came out and blew your mind. That's basically this song. You know, it's very,
It
very,
is.
yeah. It's hype. This is such a good song.
I like how you wrote that because that's just it's hilariously correct. Like, the very fact that we're skipping the first 40 seconds of this song, and don't get me wrong, it is great. It's a build up, but the
Yeah,
build up it is quite ominously long, and it's ominous, but it's long. It's like this angel type
yeah.
voice.
We're skipping it
Yeah,
because for the teaser we want to actually show off the song.
yeah,
But
exactly. But yeah,
obviously when you listen to the song, listen to the intro because it does build up, and when it drops, it is like a really good drop.
yeah. To talk about the intro, it's the best. Sorry, not the intro. Talk about the best part.
Yeah. So the electric guitars, there's both rhythm and melody. Yeah, there's electric bass, there's drums, there's weird but really engaging vocals that kind of make the melody as well. And then there's the piano, which is, I think you said as well before, very, very Japanese. You can just tell something about it just sounds so Japanesey.
The notation, the notation is Japanese. Yeah.
Yeah, but all of it, it's really awesome. It's really, really good, and it always has been. It's always been one of my favorites. Like all Xeno tracks, it fits the moment perfectly. I'm not going to spoil it since it's an end game track, but the way it comes in and the way it drops, it's really, really good. It works very, very well with the cutscene, and it goes right into the battle from cutscene to battle. Very smooth transitions. So again, make sure to check this one out as well. I just want to play it. It's so good.
It's jam. It's just a jam. You know, like someone who loves like funk, pop, rock. This was just so groovy, and
really
I just vibed. So I actually had listened to this song about 3 times when Elijah sent it to me because I was just like, this is vibes. This is a jam. You know, this is great. It was such a good track, and anyone who, we're gonna skip to the best part, but we do recommend you guys listen to the full song, the intro and the ending, because it gives you like the actual build up to it, and that kind of makes it a whole lot better.
It gets better as it goes along as well, which is something that's good.
Yes, yeah.
It's also, by the way, got remixed in Xenoblade 3 for the final boss of the Xenoblade 3 DLC. So it's that good that they decided to remix it. So, yeah.
It was that good. It was that good. And then the bass is as a bass guitarist, I was like, the bass is so. I want to learn the bass line and just do my own sort of Xenoblade covers. I should.
I've drummed to this before as well.
Yes, yeah, we should do like the Xenoblade band. Xenoblade, whatever, I don't know. What should we call ourselves? The Xenoblade Bros. I don't know. You get copyright strike by Xenoblade. Anyway, yeah, should we give this jam a play?
Of course, yeah.
Let's give it a play. And I'm sure you were jamming around to that. It was the best I did. It was my favourite. And yeah, it's really good.
Yeah,
Elijah
has really, really good music.
Yeah, that was really good. Have you got any last words to say on your Xenoblade soundtrack before we move on to my choice? On the whole soundtrack overall?
I will say Xenoblade overall, I think the choices I've chosen, I chose the first one because it's iconic. It's like a good intro to Xenoblade kind of thing. The second one I chose because it's very underappreciated. And the third one because I needed to give some sort of example of like
a good jam.
A really good track.
Yeah.
But I think overall there are so many, like there's dozens, I think. Like there's a lot of battle tracks similar to Zanza in the sense that you will be bopping along and you'll love it so much.
You will, yeah.
And there's more emotional tracks and things in between. There's all sorts of genres, by the way. There's pop, lo-fi, jazz, hip hop, orchestral stuff, choral stuff. There's Latin. There's everything. There's such a unique variety, and also all the tracks themselves are very well written and very uniquely written. Again, Xenoblade has its own style that not a lot of other games replicate. And I think it's definitely worth listening to. And it's definitely a good soundtrack, which can definitely beat Judah's one. Just saying.
There is no arguing with that, I'm afraid. Like, Xenoblade is really good. But I'm afraid my choice is also going to take is also it's good. But anyway, I'd like to quickly say though, last point on your Xenoblade tracks. It's one of those tracks, right? But the music is so good. I feel like people who don't, I don't know, like say a man in his 60s who's a musician, he makes music, and he never really knew anything about video games or video game music. I feel like if you just showed him this one of those tracks, like the main theme or something, that he would be blown away and be like, "Wow, this is awesome."
Yeah, this is music, like
this is music
so good that you would expect it to be like performed in concert halls, or for the rock stuff, you'd expect that to come from like a band or something, not
exactly.
You know, not like video game composers. It's really good.
And it annoys
they
me.
all deserve more credit. Yeah.
Exactly, they deserve more credit. It annoys me that these songs are kind of just brushed under the carpet because they're in a video game. Like, it just seems like that. It just seems like they're not given as much credit as they should.
But
just
that's
why
why
it's in a video
here.
game.
That's why
we're here. Yeah, exactly.
I was also going to say I have a Xenoblade favorites kind of playlist that I will send to Judah to link in the description. Just because it's half of it is Xenoblade 2, so don't worry about that. But the first half is Xenoblade 1. So if you don't have the time to listen to the whole OST, but you are interested in listening to more of it, I think that's an easy way of summarizing it into kind of the best tracks. Or just look at the ones with the most views, and you'll know which is the most popular. So.
Yes. I'll include Elijah's Xenoblade favorite playlist below in the link below, in the show notes, in the description, and everything else, all that good stuff. Now, Elijah, I am ready. I know the songs. I am ready to show you my game soundtrack. Are you ready?
Let's go then. I'm ready.
You're ready. Everyone's ready. Are you ready, listener? Well, I'm ready. Let's go. Okay, so the game I chose and the soundtrack is a dear game. It's a game that's dear to me. I chose Professor Layton and the Unwound Future, also known as the Lost Future in the UK, but it's widely known as the Unwound Future, so I'm going to refer to it as that. So Professor Layton and the Unwound Future is, you're aware of Professor Layton, aren't you? And the game series.
I played Pandora's Box and grew up with those kind of games, so
yes.
I know of them. I haven't played this one, but I have.
I know, it's shocking.
I will eventually.
Yeah. You should. I'm being serious. This is really good.
I'll get around to it at some point.
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
I keep giving you games to play on the Switch, and you keep giving me DS games to play. It's like
exactly.
Mutual exchange.
Mutual exchange. I'm gonna play all these. I'm gonna be loyally abiding to Elijah's rules for the Switch. So you better loyally abide to my Nintendo game.
Will do. Yeah.
You should. But yeah, basically this is the whole. This is my first ever Nintendo game, really, ever. Like, this was when I first got my hands on Nintendo. This is my first game. So I got a Nintendo DS Lite from a friend. Actually, like a family friend. It was like an elderly person. They gave it to me with 2 games, I believe. No, 3 games. One was Ace Attorney. What was it? Apollo Justice. I forget now.
Apollo Justice. Yeah.
It's Apollo Justice, not Ace Attorney.
It's still Ace Attorney. Yeah. Still same series. Yeah.
Still same series. The other one was this Puzzle Master something. Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
And then Professor Layton and the Lost Future, and I was like, this appealed to me. So I played this game, and I 100%ed it. I loved this game so much. And again, I think we've discussed this in actually. Go to our latest episode of the podcast. I like it when you're limited with games and you don't have loads of choice, because if you have one game to play on your list and you don't have any other games that you've bought, then you can really appreciate that game.
Yeah,
right?
And you try and explore every little nook and cranny to find all the details.
Because
you make the most of it. Yeah,
you make the most of it because you're bored and there's nothing else to do in life because it's boring. So yeah, basically, I just loved this game. So I loved it. It was emotion. And I was like 10 years old, right? And this is really emotional. Like, I think the emotion level in this game is for like people that are 15 and over. I think because there was this is basically digging into Layton's past, right? This is how he tragically lost his girlfriend, and she died in an experiment trying to go back in time, and there are bad people involved, and it was quite a graphic, sad, emotional story for a 10-year-old like me. but that made it the whole the more intense. So yeah, I love the game so much, and the puzzles I always like have great memories of me and my mum sitting down and doing the puzzles together, because the puzzles are just, some of them are just way too hard for my 10-year-old brain to figure out. So my mum would like sit down, but I have to like bug my mum. I was just chopping potatoes in the kitchen. I'd run in and be like, "Mum, Professor Layton's too hard. Sort this out." And I was like, "I really want to." And she'd be like, "No, I'm busy right now, but like, I really want to find out what's going on in the story." You know, so yeah, basically this game it's got a lot of nostalgia tied to it. I've got, you know, and that's what makes the music a whole lot more amazing to me, because you know the music itself is amazing. There's some amazing tracks in this game, really well put together, nearly all of it. But here's the thing, right? Because there's nostalgia tied to it, and there's a lot of emotional tracks in this game. I find it a lot more, I don't know, 10 times more emotional than the general person that hears it for the first time, because there's nostalgia tied to it. But yeah, basically, the Professor Layton and the Lost Future, it's based in London. It's a very London-like game. So again, I like it because I'm from London, and yeah, it's really good. And we're going to talk about how the songs almost sort of replicate London in a way in a second. But yeah, the music overall soundtrack is really good. That's what I want to say. You got any thoughts on the overall soundtrack? Or you're not really aware of it, are you?
I'm not aware of the overall, but I am aware of the ones you've chosen.
Yeah,
Obviously, yeah, I've listened to
yeah.
those, so I think it sounds good. It sounds good.
And you have got one
Again,
you
not
like,
as good
yeah.
as Xenoblade, but it sounds good.
No, 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 no! Don't play that card.
No, no, no,
This
it's
is the
fine.
thing, right?
It sounds good.
I could argue one thing, right?
Mhm.
That the tracks in Xenoblade, right? They do outrank Layton's, the whole Professor Layton series. Some of them,
Mhm.
though, are on the same level. And the thing is, your choice, Elijah. Only one of them, I think, is worth voting for more. The other two, I think, are pretty much the same. So anyway, we'll talk about that later. The debate is for later.
Mhm.
Debate is for later.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I for my first track, I've chosen from the game soundtrack. This one is really good, and this is your favourite one actually, isn't it, Elijah?
It is just my favorite. Yeah.
Layton's theme. So the
Mhm.
theme of Professor Layton, Layton's theme. And my notes, here we are. The instruments mainly used, there are a number of instruments here, but the mainly used instruments in this song: piano, violin, accordion, percussion, and bass. And this song is really good. So it starts off with the piano, and it's like got this kind of like a repetitive tune. It's like that doesn't last for long though. A few seconds of that, and then after that, the violin kicks in, and then the accordion kicks in, then the bass kicks in, then the percussion pick kicks in, and then it's like a really happy clappy tune. It's fast. It starts to pick up the pace, and it makes it feel alive, and it makes you feel full of adventure and excitement. But the biggest thing I got out of this is I felt like I was walking around in Victorian London. That's what I got out of this song. It's got a very London-like feel to it,
Mm.
and
We,
this
we had
amazed
the,
me,
we had
Ron.
the same
We had the
exact,
same, yeah.
quite literally the same exact thoughts.
Mm.
I'll go give
Yeah,
my thoughts on it afterwards. But we both agree, definitely, we get a London vibe from this track. Yeah.
yeah, we do. This is amazing, right? Because number one, like I knew this was. It felt more like London to me, I guess, because I knew the game was about London. The
Mm.
very when this track plays in the game, the opening screen is a red double decker bus going through the London street. You know, this whole
Yeah,
game
yeah.
is London. But the fact that Elijah didn't even know this game was about London, and he had the London like feel to it, is spot on for the people who wrote this piece,
Yeah,
because
I
they
guess.
very cleverly put a London like feel to it without
Yeah,
even
yeah. I guess
doing London.
being a Londoner and having played some games that are based in like Victorian London in the past,
Mm.
um, yeah, the violin sound, just and the piano and all of it. I don't know. It just gave me a very London feel,
Yeah, like
and
the.
it was very, very well written for me to not even know it's in London, but to immediately
Mm.
get that kind of vibe from it.
And he's walking through London while listening to this. So
I was actually. That's
it's just like I'm in London. So yeah, it's like this is really clever, because I think you've got to be a really good music writer to actually make someone feel something without saying it. It's like that phrase where it's like, say
show
you're
don't tell.
this, yeah, yeah, basically like, say you're this without saying that, and it's just like that. So
Mm.
it's like yeah, basically this is what happened, right? They've made it sound like London without saying anything about London, basically.
Mm.
So it's just, yeah, this is really, really well put together. Your thoughts on the piece before we give it a listen?
Well, okay. I've made some notes from when I initially first listened to them, as I was walking through London. Yes, I
As he
like that
was, yeah.
it feels like a bit of a mix of genres because it starts off with the piano and the violin, and it's got that very unique sound, and that sounds very very classical, very kind of maybe even a bit ragtimey.
Mm.
And then it turns into something more, and the percussion sounds a bit Moroccan, and then you get to the piano
Hmm.
changes up when the drums kick in, and it sounds like a dance piece for a minute, for like that small for
Yeah,
the
it
section
does.
there
It does
with
because it
the
gets really
yeah
upbeat.
yeah it's there's definitely a lot of groove there, definitely groovy.
Definitely,
So it's a
yeah.
mix of genres, and I like that. I think it's good. I love
Mm.
the melody lines as well, the instrument
Mm.
choices. I really like the violin sound font used. It's like that's my kind of violin sound. That's the
Mm.
kind of thing that made me really feel initially. That's the first thing that made me go, okay, London. I don't know why, but just London. That
Yes.
violin sound, yeah. The accordion, percussion, bass, drums, piano, a synth was used towards the end as well. But
Mm.
yeah, I really, really enjoyed this track. I think, yeah, first time
That's,
hearing it, I was put into a very good headspace just from listening to it. I like things like this. So
yeah.
yeah, it's a good track. Very
Glad.
well done, Judah. Yeah.
Thank you. Glad you enjoyed it. Now, I really recommend you guys go and listen to the full track though, because they really do make this song unique. They kind of sum up the whole story in this song. That's what I think. When I played the whole game through, done it all, and then I went back to this song. I could see the entire story in this song. So
Mm.
there's so much layers to this song, and as the song doesn't keep, it's not like repetitive. It gets better and better and better, and then there's even like a one part in the song where it stops, and there's like a bad guy part in the song. I love this. It's like a bad guy part. Did you get to that? But it's like all of
Like
a sudden it
a
goes,
villainous section kind of thing, yeah.
yeah, it goes quiet and it goes and it's got like a triangle going ting, and it's like I can't really do it, but it's like yeah, that's why I recommend you go and listen to the full version because no, you're gonna get the build up, you're gonna get the fun, you're gonna get the groove, the London groove, the old time London groove, but you're not gonna get that. The rest of it is it really picks up and then it has like almost like a bad baddie feel like the villains, and then it
Yeah,
goes,
it switches up a lot. It
it
does, yeah.
switches up a lot, and
So
then
in the
yeah.
teaser, you'll hear the London kind of thing, but
Mm.
you might not get to the dance bit or the villainous bit. So,
Mm.
yeah, again, as always, we both recommend listen to the
Yeah,
whole thing if you have the time. If you don't, no worries, that's fine.
yeah. No
If you
worries if
do,
you don't,
then
but you
yeah,
do. Yeah,
please do.
yeah. So, but also the last bit after the villain bit, it's kind of got like a heroic sort of like end of the world sort of switch to it. It's like it's like it's just like something really bad's happened, and then the heroes come in, and it's
Mm.
just and so I was like, when I listened to the entire song, I was like, that sums it all up, and I hope you guys
Nice.
feel the same with this teaser. Let's give it a listen. Layton's theme. And that was Layton's theme. We hope you guys liked it. Now, on to my next choice. This has got to be one of the most emotional songs I've ever heard in game history. And Xenoblade, all these sort of games, they have really emotional songs. And this is one of them. This song I've chosen is one of them. And this is, I think, yeah, if you don't cry or feel sad throughout this song or nostalgic at least, then you got something wrong with you. Because this song is really well put together to make you feel at least sad or at least emotional. So this track I've chosen is called Memories, and it's played in like emotional scenes in the game, the cutscenes. Let me explain a bit about how it's structured and the instruments that are mainly used. Very few, but there are quite a few. But the main instruments used are flute, cello, and violin, and the main ones. And the flute starts the song. It starts off with the flute, and it's a very sort of beautiful start to the song. It's beautiful but sad at the same time. It's like and it's very soft. It's very soft, very beautiful, and it immediately kicks in your emotions, I think, from the start there. But then if that didn't do it for you, and then the cello picks in, then the violin in the background goes dun, 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 dun. And that really then that's when that's when it kind of really starts. So the violin and the flute kind of lead this song in emotions and playing on your emotions, and the melody is very definitely. I like it. I love the melody. It's very beautiful. It's the sort of thing you would hear in a sad anime scene. It's extremely emotional and thought-provoking. I wrote here a very sad, nostalgic kick, and it gets more apparent as you listen. So the more you listen to this song, the more emotional you'll get, or the more emotional it gets. And it's very gently paced. But even though it's gently paced, it's extremely emotional and even tear-jerking to some listeners. So this song, yeah. So of course, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I'll give my thoughts now. I was saying before, just to you, because I don't find it that emotional.
No, how dare you? What are you saying?
It is emotional. It is emotional. Yeah,
it is. Okay.
It's not quite tear jerking, but it's definitely.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't get tear jerked by this song, but I'm saying for some people that are like extremely emotional, they might go. Bah!
Okay. The notes I had about the instruments, there's obviously a flute. A clarinet comes in later on as well, and then obviously you got the strings, like you said.
Yeah.
I like that back and forth section between the strings. It's the dun, dun, dun. I like that. Like it sounds like it's reverberating, and I don't know, but it's obviously not meant to be reverb with playing different notes, like kind of weird, like swelling thing.
Yeah,
but it makes it sound very. I don't know. It makes it sound like you're reliving a memory or something, or remembering something, which is obviously a good intention for this fact that this is a track called Memories. So I think the intention is clear, and it's well written. I like the melody. It's a pleasant tune. I enjoyed it.
Overall. I like how you said that relived the memory. Like, I do feel like that. I do feel like I was reliving a memory or something. Like it's like in those anime scenes or whatever, where it's like 7 years ago.
It's like that origin story talking about that.
Yeah, exactly. When I was a young boy, it's like, and then this.
The flute will play, and then it's like pans to a farm when they're a kid or something.
And then it's like, no, father, and then something tragic happens.
The farm suddenly burning. Oh no!
So suddenly burns down. It's like this is the sort of music they'll play, and that was correct. Like this track was used in the game when one was reminiscing on a memory that was particularly maybe sad, or something that was meaningful to them in the past. So it is, and it really does go well with the entire soundtrack of the game, and it's not overused either. It's very rarely used, and when you hear it, it's very apparent. Then with the visuals, and the story behind the actual when it's happening, it does make it a bit more emotional, and more involved in the game, like you're actually there. So, are you ready to give it a listen?
Of course, yeah.
Let's give Memories a listen. Don't cry, because Elijah won't cry. And I won't cry, so don't. And that was Memories. I hope you had a very memorable time listening to Memories. Bad pun that was. But onto my last, third, and final track, Elijah's favourite track, Time Travel. Time Travel.
It's a darn shame this is a re-recording. Because we had some words to say.
We had some salty moment on this on the last episode, and it may get salty again because I still am salty. I almost, Elijah, you're still lucky to be my friend. But yeah, basically, yeah. Hear me out first. Hear me out first, and
Yeah,
then
of course,
the debate things will get salty. Well, first of all, my third and final but favourite track, Time Travel. This is my favourite track, and I really love it. It's really well put together. It's basically it's an ending sort of. This song plays at the end, and there's a good origin to how it was produced, and it's emotional. It's not in the way that it's sad. It's more. It's like thinking about the end, thinking about what happened in the game. So it's like the
reminiscent.
end, reminiscent. That's it. Good. It's reminiscent, and it's reminiscing of all the things that happened, the good and the bad, and the ugly, and everything. And it's basically that's what it is, and that plays, and it's just really nice. I love the tune. I love the saxophone in it, the piano sax, and the guitars and the drums and the bass. It's lovely. It's a lovely tune, and the instruments mainly used. There are actually quite a lot of instruments in this, but here are the mainly used instruments. Here's the thing: I do like that. I like that it's got a lot of instruments. I like songs that have a mix of guitar mixed in with the cello and a violin and whatnot. But yeah, it's got an acoustic guitar, piano, drums, bass, clarinet, accordion. So that's just some of the stuff in this that kind of lead it. And it's got an emotional start to it. It's like da, 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 da. So it's kind of emotional. It's got a nice. It's a very nice sort of reminiscent vibe, and then it climax. So the climax it gets better as it happens, and near the middle it really does start to pick up, and it gets all big, and then it changes towards the end. To just it changes. This is the thing. It switches up to a different sort of tune. It is also my favourite part. I like the end part, but I can't really play the end part. I have to play the beginning. I'm gonna. Here's the thing, Elijah. I'm not gonna play the beginning. I'm gonna play like the best part, like 20 seconds in, because the build up is a bit boring. But yeah, not boring though. I'm not dissing my favourite song. I'm just saying.
Oh, it's boring, is it? Oh, it's boring.
No.
You
It's
heard
not.
it from Judah himself. He thinks his songs are boring. Clearly, Xenoblade wins. Discussion over.
Clearly not.
End the episode.
Xenoblade.
I've won. Okay.
Biased man. No, this is not right. No, it's not boring. Not boring. I didn't say that. I'm editing that out. I'll have to keep it in now. I don't know. But yeah, basically. It's not boring, but what I'm trying to say is that the best part, I want to give you the best in the business, I don't want to give you I want to give you, it's all great, but I don't want to make the viewers vote for Xenoblade. I want to make them vote for my tracks. So I'm showing the best part, obviously. So it's, my notes here. It's one of the most beautiful songs I have ever heard, and it is. It is beautifully paced and gentle, but emotional, and can be tear-jerking depending on the listener. Definitely not Elijah. Not me either, though. I'm not tear-jerked by this, but I'm just saying this because I know some people are extremely emotional. Like, I've got a friend, like, she'll probably watch, I don't know, a cat fall off a bed and she'll start crying. And she'll be like,
so people who can't maintain their emotions will cry at this theme. Doesn't mean much, my guy.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I'm just saying, I'm stating the obvious, that it can bring out emotions, okay? It does, but it's definitely. I find it emotional, but not to the point where I'm crying. No, definitely not. But it's good. It's reminiscent. It's very nice, and there's an origin behind this song. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna talk about the origin after we've heard it. But Elijah, what are your thoughts and views on this song?
Okay, yeah. So, I made notes saying like you kind of. You picked two favorites in a row with acoustic guitar, which I think, okay, I'm starting to see what you like.
He knows my style.
Yeah,
he knows what to make.
Yeah. It's a nice track. It is. It's a bit cheesy in my opinion.
Oh God!
But it's not bad. It's not bad. Soprano sax for the melody, acoustic guitar for that kind of reminiscent feel. Which, by the way, I didn't know this was the ending theme until you told me. So again, well done on the writer's part for making it feel reminiscent when it is, intended to be the ending theme, the credit theme. So it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not cheesy, by the way. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah,
It
totally.
is not cheesy. It's artist's perspective, and your perspective is clearly wrong. Because
I
this
think
is
it's very cheesy.
no,
Just
no,
saying.
cheesy. Let me define cheesy. Cheesy is the Big Bang Theory, right? I'm really sorry for everybody. I'm really sorry for everybody who watches the Big Bang Theory. I know a lot of people do, but it just drives me up the flipping wall. I just do not like it. Big Bang Theory is just so cheesy, so cringy. Like I'm just like, what is this? Is this for like 5-year-olds? Like I used to have my ex-girlfriend. I used to like I went around the house a lot. That was her favorite thing to do. Like she literally watched it biblically and on repeat. So every time I walk in, I'd be like, "Hey, Gerald!" I was like, "No, don't." It's just so cheesy. Yeah, I'm not gonna go on rant, but yeah, that's probably gonna be a hot take because I know.
Obviously, cheesy is different depending on the media. With TV, yeah, that's kind of cheesy.
This was not cheesy. This was not.
With this is music. I think it's just the soprano sax. It's very slow. It's a very slow piece.
Yeah.
But it just, to me, it doesn't feel very special.
How dare
It's
you?
decent overall, but it doesn't wow me in any way. It reminds me a bit of Hillsong with the acoustic guitar and the bass.
Kenny G, you get lost.
And,
No, he
yeah,
said to me,
I
Kenny
said,
G. I was like, no. Kenny G, right? He is cheesy. This is not Kenny G, right? This
the
is not
soprano
Kenny G.
sax just sounds like a Kenny G melody line, and it's mixed with that kind of Hillsong instrumental slow drum. Like, listen to the drums on their own; they're so slow and just calm. And there's nothing wrong with us having a slow
Yeah,
track, of
nothing wrong
course.
with that. Yeah,
But in this case, it just sounds like a cheesy lead up to something.
go and eat some
And then
cheese.
with the acoustic guitar and everything, it just sounds so cheesy to me. I don't know.
Go and eat some
And
cheese.
the soprano sax, it reminds me of Kenny G, and I hate Kenny G with a
Yeah, I
burning
do too,
passion.
but this is not Kenny G because
But it sounds like it's Kenny G. All right, well,
yeah, no,
my opinion, I think it's
Yeah.
not bad. Yeah, like I said, it's not bad.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just not very good.
It was Elijah's
So,
opinion. It was Elijah's opinion.
yeah,
And
it's just
I
my
doubt
opinion.
anyone else.
It's
I
just
doubt
my
anyone else
opinion.
agrees with you.
But I think it's a little bit cheesy, and I'm not a big fan of it because it's not very special in my eyes.
I'm inclined.
I've heard many, many better reminiscent ending themes than this in games anyway.
Dear me.
So just saying.
What's he doing? What's he doing? I'm inclined to make a poll saying, is this track cheesy, right? Yeah. I'm just inclined to do that now. And if I win, I'm going to make the biggest punishment for you. Like, you're going to have to make a video saying 10 reasons why you should subscribe to Judah. And why you should listen to the podcast. Like, I know a big punishment. Like, you're getting what for? This is awful. How dare you? Yeah, but this song is in. By the way, it's not cheesy. It's not. Elijah said it was like Kenny G, who is an absolute. I'm not. It just drives me up the wall. His music as well. So yes, I agree. We agree on that. When you sent me the song, I turned it off within 10 seconds. But yeah, the Prano sax, just because Kenny G plays the Prano sax in a certain way, doesn't mean that the Prano sax itself is a bad instrument and cheesy instrument. It can be played beautifully.
Okay, I've heard. So I used to play saxophone.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of jazz and saxophone things, and even classical saxophone. I've heard many people play soprano saxophone. I have only heard one person make it sound not cheesy. Only one out of all the many
I think you just don't
musicians
like
I've heard.
Prano saxophones. I think you should wear a T-shirt saying I don't like Prano saxophones.
No, I love soprano saxes. I just think that in most cases they're played in a very cheesy way. Or it's just the music that surrounds it. Then it's the music that surrounds it. And
we should let you play it and see if it's cheesy.
Yeah, and I'll play it in a non-cheesy way. So.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I'm holding you to that. And like in the future, you're going to play the soprano sax on camera, and I'm going to sit there like Simon Cowell of BGT, Britain's Got Talent, and then afterwards I'm going to say, "Awful, cheesy, get off the stage." Yeah, I'll probably.
And then you'd be proving me right by saying that the soprano's cheesy, which means your song is cheesy.
Yeah, because you just said that you would play it non-cheesy, so I'll be proving you that it's not the instrument's fault, is it? You're just being mean to the poor instrument. It doesn't sound cheesy. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm probably being a bit too harsh. I can understand. It's your opinion. I'll take it. I'll accept it. I'll accept your opinion. Yeah, it's hard to accept. I think we'll never ever get over this. Like this is going to be like end up at like fist fight level if we got into this when we were both drunk.
We'll never come to an agreement. But
we'll never come to an agreement.
At the end of the day, the vote is up to the audience.
The vote is up to the audience. So you guys have to decide: is this song cheesy? Of course it isn't. You know who your boy is. It's Judah, and this track is beautiful, and it outranks Xenoblade in every way possible.
Even if it's not cheesy in the audience's eyes, you still have to look at the fact that is it that good compared to Xenoblade? It's one of those kind of things.
The debate will happen soon, and I'm going to talk about your choice because it's your choice that lets you down here, Elijah. But we'll see about this. But anyway, let's give it a listen. Let's enough of us faffing about cheese and more cheese and Kenny G. Yeah, you could give it a listen. Is it cheesy or not? No, it's not. But give it a listen. Let's give it a listen. Let's give it a listen. And that was the non-cheesy, good, wonderful. I'm just going to keep saying this now to wind you up. Time travel. That was time travel. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, on to more all jokes aside, this track is actually originates from a original song that's Japanese. It was a Japanese, it was written by Japanese, people that wrote the game, and the song "Time Travel" is actually a Japanese song that's actually sung by a Japanese woman called Anne Sully, and this is actually quite interesting. I looked into the origin of this song because I really liked it, and this is just the instrumental version. So the time travel theme you literally just heard is the instrumental version. This is not the actual. It's not the actual proper version that was originally made. And I think Elijah might like the original version because it's not got the soprano sax in it, and it's very different.
maybe.
It's a lot different. It's a lot different actually from the instrumental version. Now, personally, I enjoyed the instrumental version. But I think this version is also really good. I love the melody, written, the da 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 da. I think it's very nice. And basically, it was written for the game, but they just kicked it out. They're like, no, for some reason. It was the final cut. Were like, no, we're just gonna have this. We're just gonna have in Japan. They were like, no, we're not gonna have this song. We're just gonna have the instrumental version, and instead, this song. Time travel named it's called Jikan Ryokou. That's the real name, Jikan Ryokou. It was released as a single by Anne Sully, and it means So
even though it's not part of the soundtrack, you still wanna we'll still play.
Yeah, it's an origin. It's an origin.
Yeah,
I'm doing a bit of origin history for our listeners, so they can so they can really appreciate my hard work and earning that point number 2 on the board and 0 for Elijah.
Good luck. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let's give the song Origin a listen. The original song. We've got to give credit to good old Anne Sully.
変わらぬものは何もない喜び悲しみ移ろう時溢れてこぼれる涙の後には柔らかな光照らすでしょう新しい時の始まりにいっぱいに風を受け帆を上げるあなたと飛び立つ時間
And that was the original song Jikan Ryokou. Good. Well done, Anne Sully. Yeah, you can go. Well done for being on the podcast and singing and beautifully. Lovely.
Gerald's Gaming Podcast featuring Anne Sully. Yeah.
Featuring Anne Sully. Elijah's...
title,
he said we should. Elijah's been kicked out. I've got a new co-host in because she actually does not think this is cheesy. She sang the original song.
And I bet she cringed while doing it. No,
Oh,
no,
dear!
just kidding.
How dare you? No, she did. I'm
I'm joking.
I'm gonna get Anne Sully on the podcast. I'm gonna do it. I want to do it now. I'm gonna get her on and say in Japanese, "This guy here thinks your song is cheesy," and she'll go, "Baka dene." Stupid idiot. But anyway, I think it's all time, guys. I think it's about time we have the debate because me and Elijah are just getting more and more salty about this last track. I think it's time we actually debate as to why we should win and why our choices in our minds are better than each other's. Now, I would just like to say we're not dissing each other's tracks entirely. I think, yeah, I personally, I think Elijah's every single song that Elijah's chosen are good and they're unique in their own way. I've got my favourite and I've got my one that I don't really like or not as much. But then again, I'm like, well. Then again, the choice. This is the main thing I'm going to attack Elijah for today, or debate him on, is his choice. And then again, yeah, but it's all good. It's all nice. We're not. We
both like both soundtracks, really.
Yeah. Realistically.
However, we just like one more than the other. That's the kind of thing.
Yeah. So you do like time travel, but you just don't.
I don't like time travel.
Oh, how dare you?
No, but I don't dislike it. I'm very neutral on it.
I don't see.
It's just because it's not very special to me.
But
I don't dislike it. Yeah, I'm on the fence with it.
But I'll accept that.
If I played the game, maybe perhaps I would like it more. But I haven't, so I don't. Basically, yeah. That's it.
Well, I'll accept it because I'm not. Yeah, I can't be too salty about it because it artist perspective. All right. Yeah. But even though cheesy is a bit harsh, isn't it? It's a bit harsh, but anyway.
Truth hurts, man. Just saying.
I'll be nice. Elijah, attack me first. Why should you win? Why are your tracks better? And your choices?
I think in general, the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition soundtrack, it's higher quality, not only like recording and production and the actual compositions themselves. I think they are of higher standard, they're better written tracks in general.
Higher standard.
Higher standard. I think they outclass the Professor Layton tracks.
Outclass? Oh,
yeah, that's right. They outclass them. Because I think my music, even without the context of the games, can be appreciated by anyone and everyone. Whereas some of Judah's tracks may require some nostalgia for it to really be appreciated. So I'm kind of.
I disagree with that. I don't think nostalgia needs to be tied to every one of these tracks. Like, for instance, you really enjoyed. I want to bring up your opinion here. You really enjoyed the first track, right?
I love the first one, yeah.
Exactly. So I feel, and London is a much loved city by a lot of people. We have a worldwide audience, right? We have people from America, Japan, and most of my friends overseas. They're like, "Oh, I love London. It's great." And I was like, "It's not," but yeah, it's good. It's good. But I'm thinking, like, if you like London, you'll like this track. So for choice wise, I think I've gone out with a banger. I don't think this is nostalgia.
I think you definitely start with something that doesn't require anything, and there is. I really like your first track. I think well done.
Thank you.
Your first track is very good. Like I said, I gave it loads of praise, and I did say that I genuinely dislike it in general. It's my kind of music.
That's good. At least he likes that one.
The second one, I also do like that one. I enjoyed it, listening to it. It's kind of like, it's obviously not as good as the first one, but the first one was so good that you can't expect them to all be the same.
Yeah. I knew.
It's like how my three choices aren't all as good as your favorite one.
Yes.
So your second one was still good. I enjoyed the melody. I enjoyed it. The third one is a bit of a letdown in my opinion. However, you like it, and I understand why you like it. At least there's that much to it. I understand why you like it. I just disagree with you. So.
Okay, all right.
But for me, for Xenoblade, I think Xenoblade does stand tall over the Professor Layton soundtrack here. For a multitude of reasons, mainly just simply being, I think they're better. I think they sound better. I think they're easier to listen to in your own time. I think there's much more variety in the Xenoblade soundtrack overall. Obviously, I only gave a few examples, and maybe I don't give the best examples. There's a lot of people who aren't going to be bothered to go and listen to the whole thing. But for those who are, you will learn that there's so much variety, and there's something for everyone in Xenoblade soundtrack. Whereas that might not be the same with Professor Layton. So,
well, Yeah. I'll take what you're saying with the last track. Like, it isn't cheesy. I disagree with you, but here's the thing: I do understand. I guess it's just Elijah's just got I don't know, a soprano saxophone. Kenny G burst into his house one day and bullied him, and he was younger, so he's got a bad past with that. So of course he just doesn't like it. So I'll accept it. I'll accept it. But yeah, I think the first choice and the second choice, you don't have to have a nostalgia tied to it. The second one comes across really emotional, so I think any audience, you don't have to have nostalgia tied to it. If you have played it, though, I believe we have quite a wide Nintendo audience. And I do believe some of them would have played this game. Then it would make it a bit more emotional due to the situation behind this song. So I do believe those of you who are listening, who have probably played Professor Layton and Xenoblade, you've got a good thing to go off here. I've chosen some good ass tracks.
I think, if you look at both of our second choices, so for me, Thoughts Enshrined, for you, Memories, they're two emotional pieces made for emotional scenes in the games.
Yes.
But for me, I feel so much more of I feel a much stronger kick of emotion from the one that I've chosen compared to the ones that you've chosen. I do feel, Memories is an emotional piece. However, it's not so strongly emotional that I'm like, taken aback by it or anything.
I feel this is an artist's perspective clash happening, because now it's my time to say what I think of your choice, right?
Yeah, sure.
Now, so Xenoblade. Okay, the soundtrack is mind blowing, right? The soundtrack, I have to admit that, because I was gonna choose Xenoblade. Elijah snagged it, which is well done on him. But yeah, basically, his choice though, however, I think is poor. First of all, I'm not saying all of his choices, but I think his order, First of all, with his first track, yeah, I do agree he should have chosen the main theme. Everyone's gonna know it, right? They're gonna enjoy it. They're gonna connect with that. As soon as they hear that, they're gonna connect. They're gonna be like, I know this song. This is Xenoblade. This is emotional, and it is. It's an emotional track, even with someone who does not know Xenoblade series. This is an emotional song with layers, and it's really, really well written. Melody's lovely. Yes, well done, Elijah. Good track. But then again, I'm like, well, the style is very different to my unique first choice if I compare them, because if you look at the Xenoblade choice that he's chosen with the first one, its main theme, and then you look at Layton's theme, they're very different, right? So mine's actually a style of London. It's like a bit of dance, a bit of groove, a bit of story in there. And his is just a very emotional orchestral song. They're very different. So first of all, that's all right. There's no problem with that. Very different styles here, but I do believe the people are going to divert to their favourite style in the first two choices. But here's where I think Elijah fell short. Your second track, Thoughts Enshrined, I think was a bad choice to put on your top three, because even though it was a complexing track, it's not something I would go out of my way to listen to, right? So it's not something I would be like, that was my favourite. This is probably the one that I'm not. It's not my favourite. I don't dislike it, but I do like it though. Like, it's not bad. It's just I wouldn't choose it. I would not choose it for.
I think you're saying it's too similar to the first one.
It's too similar to the first.
It's another emotional orchestral classical in a sense.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, you did what I did last episode. You didn't do enough. You didn't do enough variety. Yeah. And
I think that's fair. I think the reason I chose that, I understand. You're not taking a dig at the game anyway. I'm more taking a dig at my choices, which is fair.
Yeah, the game is no. I'm not taking a dig at the game. I'd never do that over my death. No.
But you, I think the reason I chose it was because it's very underappreciated, and from before, I changed my choices many times. And I said I had loads of other run-em-up runs as well. I think I wanted to include, but I wanted to include the main theme because I feel like I had to. But with Thoughts Enshrined, I wanted to include that one because I love it so much personally, and because it doesn't get enough appreciation from the Xenoblade community and from people who don't know the games. So that's why I chose it. I understand, there's not a lot of variety. In which case, okay, fair enough. I would like you to play a short clip that I will send you later of McConnell's Field, just to show, a bit of variety, or what I would have chosen in a different scenario.
So when would you like me to play that? Like now?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, play it now.
Let's just play your what's your choice here?
McConnell's Field.
McConnell's Field. Let's play his. This was going to originally be, or was it your second choice?
It's gonna be my third choice originally, but I changed my second and third many times. Yeah.
Well, I'll let him off, and I'll let this track play because I'm a fan of this one as well. That was McConnell's Field.
I wanted that to be played just so the listeners can hear, like with you giving the origin for your third track.
Yeah, we need an origin.
Me giving the origin behind my decisions. That would have been very, very close to being the top 3. But I felt, okay, fine, just include a short clip of it anyway, because the listeners do need to know there is more variety out there. Like with your tracks, you chose better, and this is just more of a learning experience. Fine. For next episode, we both know the styles
choose better.
Yeah, we both know what to choose. So fair enough, fair criticism. I understand. Yeah. Hopefully that will give some more background behind the songs. I also want to give some background behind the game itself, Xenoblade. For those of you who don't know, so there's 2 great titans. And they clash. One's called Bionis, one is called Mechonis.
Indeed.
And one is, full of, normal life forms like humans and animals and things like that.
Yeah.
And the music represents that. The music is very usually either happy or sad, whatever, but it's mainly orchestral there, with some kind of a few little rock things for like battle themes. Yeah. But then you go over to Mechonis, goes to a different titan. They have machina and machines and different kinds of people, and the themes there you get very, very different. They sound all very mechanical, very electronic. That's where the real clash and variety of styles comes from.
Different vibe,
yeah, completely different vibe with these 2 areas, these 2 almost 2 titans, planets in a way. So I think that's important to keep in mind with the music for this game. Is the reason it has such variety is because there's a lot going on in the actual games, and that requires variety.
Yes, yeah.
So I think with Professor Layton, obviously there's nothing wrong with sticking with one genre, one area kind of thing, and working around that. Because obviously Professor Layton's done that well. It's based in London, but it has more than just the London sounding things. It has a mix of things.
Oh, it's got some great tracks for environment. So London Road, they've got so. I could have chosen them as well, but I just wanted to.
Yeah, of course.
There's. Here's the reason why I chose Professor Layton. Right, not only is I wanted to bring the viewers my childhood up, my first ever sort of Nintendo music game. I thought it needs to have a place in this series because the music is again underappreciated. I feel like you should vote for me because Xenoblade is more well known than Professor Layton and the Unwound Future. So I feel like your songs could get recognition in another way, but because I think more people will generally play that because it's modern, it's new. People will play Xenoblade, but I feel like Professor Layton and the Unwound Future, that's an old game. It's kind of been forgotten about. I feel like people need to vote for that so we can bring it back, bring back the music and appreciate it a bit more.
I guess
that's my stance. That's my stance. So why you should vote for me?
I think I think saying that you should vote for you because of that isn't very fair in the sense that you're giving recognition to the game anyway. By doing this. So, is it really?
I want the music to be recognised though. I want it to be because in my opinion, this is going to be tough because it's almost like me turning against my own other choice. Like Xenoblade, I love it. That's the thing. I can't say anything bad about it. The third track, boy, it was a jam. Sorry for that sound bite. It was a jam. It was a jam. I loved that one. I cannot stamp on that one in any way possible. So it's like, well, it's hard for me. But what I'm going to say,
really quickly, there's only a year and a half between the release dates of both our games. So
really,
just saying, yeah.
Oh wow, that is wow. No, wait, no.
Yeah, Xenoblade came out originally in 2010, and your game came out in 2008. So, or late 2008 and then mid 2010. So it's a year and a half, basically.
the first game, yeah.
Yeah.
What did that come out for?
Wii and yours
The
on the
Wii.
DS, so they're both out
Ah,
simultaneously in a
yeah.
way, yeah.
I
So
see.
yeah,
I
you see,
see.
similar time periods, yeah.
So yours. Wait. This is definitive edition. So okay, no,
Definitive
fair
Edition
enough.
came out on the Switch. That's a remix.
Yeah, fair enough.
But it's the
fair
same
enough.
game, same music, same
Same
compositions.
music, yeah. All
just
right,
higher quality.
that's fair enough. I think at this point we just have to let the audience decide because me and
Yeah.
Elijah are extremely biased. We're just going to say vote for us because vote for us. You know,
We're never going to agree. We're all going to
Yeah.
be saying different things to try and get your votes. But
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
I'd rather you just vote on whichever
Yeah.
soundtrack you like the most.
Yeah, end of the day, just do what you want, and
Because that's what we want to see. We want to see what game soundtrack you prefer.
Yeah,
Rather
out of
than
our
do you agree with
audience,
Judah
yeah.
more than Elijah,
Yeah.
we'd want to see the actual choice of music.
And I think it kind of lets us get to know you as an audience, like people, what they drive towards more, what their favorite is. And I've got a message to say to you, Elijah,
Okay.
for if you win this, right? So I've got a message to say to you for if you win this point in the next episode of episode 3 into the series next Sunday, I've got a message to say to you. So just look forward to that little message. So, but yeah, in the meantime, before the battle has started, I want to say you should vote for me. Yeah, just because I've done more variety, as you can see, and I've just got much more unique songs. This is kind of similar, but then again, I do think 3 blows it away. So I've got to say, well done, Elijah, for choosing number 3. Main theme is also very emotional. So then, yeah, those two they're good choices.
Counter argument. My game has more variety in general, not just my choices. Like my choices don't, but the game
That's
does.
a fair point.
So
that's a fair point. Yeah,
we can argue for ages, but
we can argue for ages at this point.
At this point, we'll leave it to the audience to decide.
Yeah. I mean, my game is pointed towards London. I have to say, like most of all the songs you're going to get in that game are London themes. Like London, it's just mainly London songs, and I really love that. And they're not all of them are London songs, but it's mainly they've even got a really good Chinatown theme in there somewhere. So please go and check it out, guys. Please, if you've got time, the teasers you've heard all the teasers, you've heard it all, but if you've got time, please go and check out the main soundtrack and just browse through it on YouTube, the OCT, because and just make your own judgment as to which one that you like. But yeah, anyway, I thought we would read out one small little comment that I found, which was quite helpful, which was quite interesting from a listener sent into the email. If I can find the email, I think I've lost the email, but I read this message.
I actually realised something.
Yeah, what?
Professor Layton isn't a Nintendo game.
It's not a Nintendo game, is it? It's
a Capcom game.
It's a Capcom game.
It's from Capcom, yeah. But it's on Nintendo. It's on Nintendo products though. So
it still counts.
Yeah.
No, it still Nintendo still comes up. No,
it's not owned by Nintendo.
He's trying to throw me off.
It's not owned by Nintendo, but it is on Nintendo consoles.
It's still Nintendo still helps.
I'll allow it.
You will allow it.
That's the whole reason I didn't pick Ace Attorney. It's because it's Capcom, not Nintendo.
You can still pick Ace Attorney. I'll allow you to do that.
All right, fine. Maybe
you can still do it. Nintendo games, wide choice, Elijah.
Actually, okay, yeah, that's fair enough. Nintendo games. These old games were only on the DSs, so
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Capcom's just a mere company that works with.
I just read it. Also, Capcom made Monster Hunter as well. So,
yeah, exactly.
Okay, fine. We'll allow it.
Right, yeah. I've got 2 little things to say that viewers have sent in. Maybe I'll also mention this on the next episode coming out next week for the second little something that's come in. But yeah, someone wrote into the email saying something like that it was very hard for them to decide because the first 2 games that they got bought in their life or something like that was Super Smash Bros. Brawl and Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate.
Oh, wow.
So they were like, well, what do I do? Like the first sort of games that they grew up with were those 2, and that was really interesting. It's like again, I was writing back to people who had their first ever games and 100% them all. I was like, wow, because these have both come out around similar sort of time. Generations was, I think Brawl's before.
Yeah, Brawl was on the Wii before.
Brawl was before
3DS came out. It probably wasn't too different.
Yeah, but
probably
the person,
a couple of years.
Yeah, the viewer basically just wrote in their vote was Super Smash Bros. Brawl. So I'll give it. Yeah, I'll give it.
Yeah.
But they were saying that it was a hard one for them because they really loved Monster Hunter. And then also a guy, we had a comment in underneath our poll, I thought I'd read it out. So I'll give this attention. So Prowler King wrote in and he said, "Nothing beats proof of a hero." And I was like, yes. And I applied to you, Prowler King, and I said, "Oh yes, the song is truly unbeatable, and the power and powerful, definitely in my Monster Hunter playlist." Yeah. So yes, Prowler King. Proof of a Hero is a lovely soundtrack. Again, I'm just gonna Monster Hunter Generation. I'm glad it won, but Monster Hunter, it's a song in Monster Hunter called "Proof of a Hero." Elijah, you should listen to it as well. It's great.
I'm looking it up now. Yeah, I'm having a look at it. Okay, I'll listen to that later.
Yeah, give it a listen. And last of all, before we out this episode, a little update top thing. A person wrote into the JR's Gaming channel. Now, this is quite an old channel, right? This is quite interesting. Me and Ryan have a YouTube channel called the JR's Gaming channel, and our last video was a year ago saying an update.
Oh, right, yeah.
Where have we been?
It's been so long.
And it was like, I was like, I'm doing a podcast now. We've just started it, and we hope it is good. And look at us now. We've just forgotten about us. Yeah. We've forgotten our 26 subscribers. I'm really, but yeah, a viewer called Temi wrote in underneath the wrote into our wrote into the podcast, wrote into our latest video saying, "Looks like you need to do another update, guys." And I was like, "Yes, that is very true." Yeah,
you can make another a yearly video. Like, where have we been every year?
I think
like never making a video about gaming. Just
it's that's for the future. That channel. Me and Ryan are going to do a few videos.
You
gaming.
Better do it. You better do
collaborating. It. Collaborating is. I've changed our socials up as a bit. We used to be called JR's Gaming on Twitter, and now it's just JR's Gaming Podcast because the podcast has just grown in size.
Right,
way bigger than JR's Gaming. So I've just changed it up so people can find us more easily. But yeah, JR's Gaming, it's going to be a collaborative channel with me and Rowan, probably collaborating with the YouTubers as well. But that's Genesis right now. If you want to go and see a bit of me exclusively, go and subscribe to Jude the Dude, which is my channel, and then Rowan rants, and he's not made any videos yet. But yeah, Temi, you're correct. I'm sorry. I'll get that update out at some point when I'm alive and ready. Yeah. Oh dear. And hopefully this episode processes. And Anchor, if you don't, I'm going to sue you when I get rich. So
yeah, I'm not recording this again. No,
nor am I. I'm probably going to go and rant about it on YouTube. So anyway, now who will win? Professor Layton, the Unwound Future versus Xenoblade. I've done it again, Elijah. I said Xenoblade, just like I did in the last episode.
No, it is, isn't it? You got it right, Xenoblade.
I said X Xenoblade, didn't I?
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's Xenoblade. I keep saying that. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Versus Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Which game has better music? We will now leave it up to you, the listener. We want you to vote in which game soundtrack you prefer. This is really important as you guys make this series possible. Please write a comment down below or take part in our polls that we'll be posting on Spotify, YouTube community posts, and Discord. And if you are unable to do any of this, please write in your vote to our email, jrsgaming135@gmail.com. You have until next Friday, actually, because me and Elijah are recording on Friday instead of Saturday due to work reasons. So you haven't.
I think that's easier though in a way because then if you record in the day or in the evening on a Friday, you don't have to immediately edit it or anything like that.
Exactly, and I can just relax. And then Saturday I've got all day to edit it and make thumbnails and stuff. So and then Sunday it's all out. So and then of course Saturday the audio. A little thing, our podcast episodes go out on Saturday, the audio on Spotify and everything, and they won't have chapters, but on Sunday they'll be chaptered, and on Sunday you have the YouTube video, and on Sunday you got the Nintendo Music Wars, which you're listening to now. So yes, you have until next Friday to vote, so make sure you remember that, and probably I recommend you do it straight away, like now. If you're still listening, vote now, do the vote. Which one do you prefer? Take part in the poll or write in or whatever, comment. But the battle is on. Only one of us can win this. Who will it be? This is the Nintendo Music Wars.